very warm welcome to you, ladies and gents, and welcome to the Kuwait Pilot channel. I am oozing with excitement today over X-Plane 12.3.0 Beta 1. Laminar Research has definitely promised, and they kept their promise, and they've delivered. The next generation sim is here, ladies and gents. I can't tell you how excited I am about this update. The weather update, the weather radar, the synthetic vision, everything in this update has really got me very, very excited at a time where I was feeling a bit low about flight simming in general. So today we are going to be taking a first look at X-Plane 12.3 Beta 1. This is a highly unstable release, by the way, and the reason why Laminar has released this version is to basically find out all the issues and iron them out before the final public release. I want to welcome all of you guys in chat. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you here with us. We are in for a treat this evening. And today we are going to be Air Canada 1396. We're going to be flying from Leicester Pearson International, and we're going to be heading to Newark Liberty International in the United States, a real-world scheduled flight for Air Canada. In today's stream, we are going to be taking a look at all the changes, hopefully after we land successfully. Hopefully the sim doesn't crash, but I do have a backup plan in case it does crash because it's been highly unstable with some of the plugins that I have. I've removed Traffic Global. It seems to be #1 culprit for some of the crashes that I've had, and I've also removed completely the terrain and weather radar plugin because we want to see what Laminar has done. So the very first thing you'll notice in this version, you can see that the clouds have been even further improved from previous versions. The overall look and feel of the sim, the haze, the fog, has been really done very, very well. Of course, I've always liked the sun in X-Plane, but guys, look at this. Look at these clouds. Those clouds look absolutely fantastic. Now, one thing I do notice with the terrain radar is that after 2,000 feet, the terrain radar doesn't register for some reason. By the way, I'm not sure if you can see this, but the clouds are actually moving, so they're not static. They're actually moving with the winds. I'm not really sure if you can see it, but this is really something that we've waited very long time to get this, and finally it is here. And Laminar has done a really remarkable job with the 12.3. This, ladies and gents, calls for excitement for us flight simmers, and I have to say that I'm actually quite impressed with all the changes they brought to their A330, the default aircraft. Very nice looking aircraft in terms of the visuals. So visually it looks really good. In terms of the systems, we're going to find out, but it actually is very good considering that this is a freeware, that this is a default aircraft. So lots of excitement. I really am lost for words. I really don't know what to say, but I'm really excited about this update. And this is, by the way, today on purpose. I decided I did not want to fly into any payware airport, so we are flying completely in default X-Plane airports, complete default scenery, as well as the mesh. Everything that you're going to see today is going to be 100% default X-Plane. Where it's not, I will tell you. For example, we are going to be using XP Realistic, and we are using X Camera today. So those are the two things that are payware that I've paid for, and we are going to use them just to enhance our experience a little bit. So let's go ahead and hop into the cockpit here, and we're going to set things up. Now, if you look at the cockpit here, the textures aren't that great, but they're not bad at all for a default aircraft. I do like it. A very immersive aircraft overall, considering again that it's default. And we're going to take a look at some of the. I think most of the systems are simulated, and the hand flying of this aircraft is Johnny. Thank you very much for the support. And welcome to Captain. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. Have a great flight now. I will wait for the best aircraft dealers to add actual complex weather detection. Yep, that is going to be available soon. All right, the first thing we're going to do, folks, is we are going to go to the menu here, and we are going to click on Customize. We're going to go to Weight and Balance. This is something that is, we got to do it manually, unfortunately. So we're going to make sure that we are on the US system here, and we're going to go to SimBrief. Let's see here. We have the block fuel here set at, we'll say 29.3. So 2,9,300 pounds of fuel. And the total payload for our flight today is 67.4. All right. So 67.4, 67,400. And there we go. We have it set, and we're going to say done, and we are going to apply that. Now, I've noticed that every time I go to the menu and I apply it, it downloads the weather again. And it looks like during this beta, the weather does not update at the specified intervals, which is about 10 minutes. So every time I go to the menu, it kind of loads the weather again. So anyway, we're going to play with that a little bit today. Hey! LX coming in with two.
In the NEB page with ZFW.
Oh, thank you very much. Can you can add the fuel in the init B page with the ZFW? Yes, we can do that for sure. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it, and thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate the support, my friend. All right, so everything here is good. Let's go ahead and go Shift G, and we're going to say attach the jetway. How cool is that? Again, default airport, the jetways are moving. This is something that came into the most recent versions of X-Plane. And we are also connecting the ground power. So we're going to remove that little menu here, and we're going to move to the overhead panel. First, let's do our checks. We're going to make sure that the parking brake is set and both engine switches are in the off position. The engine start switch is in the normal position. The thrust levers are in idle detent. And next we're going to move here, and we're going to make sure that the wipers are in the off position. And here we are going to go ahead and turn on battery 1, battery 2, APU bat, and let's go ahead and turn on the external power. Now, I've noticed that when the lights are illuminated on the buttons, they are in low resolution. I really am not sure why, but yeah. All right, so we're going to turn all of these guys on. And let's go pack here, and we're going to turn all of these guys on. Cruise supply, ground control, PWS system is on, and we are going to turn everything on. So in the philosophy of Airbus is no lights. So we're just going to click all of these, nav, and nav. And while we're at it, let's test the APU fire test. Perfect. Hey, look, we've got even the toilet light here. Okay, so let's come down here. The aircraft, we're going to arm first strobe lights to auto, nav lights on, emergency lights, and we're going to put the fasten seatbelt on. PAX 2 on, and then we're going to turn on the fuel. There we go. And again, we're going to turn on the hydraulic systems. Here, the green, yellow, and blue. Next up, we're going to turn on the SATCOM and flight controls, isolation valves, cooling normal, hot air, and the ventilation system, and everything here is done. Perfect. Now we're going to switch this to ARC, and we do have our flight. Let me check here real quick on SimBrief. I don't think that the runways have changed. 22. Yeah, 22 left. Okay. So we can use the SimBrief plan that I've downloaded, but I think I just want to show you that everything works properly on this aircraft. So we're going to go ahead and bring the FMC. We're going to go to make sure that the data is correct. So everything's good here. And we're going to go to the init alpha. The route today is from Charlie Yankee Yankee Zulu 2 Kilo Echo Whiskey Romeo. And we're going to enter that there. And it already has this for us here. So we're going to say insert. And the flight number today is, let's bring this here. So our flight number today is Air Canada 1396. Now, during our flight today, before our approach into Newark, we're going to change the weather. We're going to make it really, really bad. And that, of course, is for your viewing pleasure, for one. But I think it's also very important for us to take a look at the weather radar, just in case we don't register anything in the weather radar. So cruise altitude is 300, I believe, 300. So let's see. All right, flight level 300. And next we're going to go to the flight plan. All right, so it looks like we have everything here. We have the departure is through 33 right. You can see there is 11 knot crosswind there. And the simulation of weather in X-Plane in this version is absolutely remarkable. I mean, it feels so real. And I mean, you have to try it in order to understand exactly what I'm saying. But I tell you, this is really next level in terms of realism and flight dynamics. All right, so 33 right. And the Capture 3 is our SID. That's the Capture 3. And we have the bumper transition. And we're going to insert all of that good stuff. Looks like there is a manual. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove that, and we're going to remove the discontinuity and insert. And next, we're going to go to our arrival airport. The arrival is 22 left. The aisle is 22 left through the false I-4, which is this one here. And let's take a quick look at the 22 left approach. 22 left. There we go. That's the ILS. I don't know why it keeps doing that. All right. So if we look here, that's the Azico. We have pattern and we have the buzz transition. So that's patterned right there. So we're going to select it. And then it's going to be the, I believe, the GE transition, right? So it's going to be this one here. And then we're going to insert. Perfect. And then we're just going to take a look here and make sure we have no discos manual, so that's okay. That is something that we're going to leave, and that's okay. Yeah, everything's fine there. Let me just very quickly go to flight plan here and take a look at our flight plan. So that's how things look like. We're going to head over to, that's Flossie, and that's the, it looks pretty messy here, doesn't it? Yeah, finally we're going to come to Buzzed. Where is Buzz? All right, looks like it's somewhere here. Yeah. All right, let me go back. Maybe we can go from there. So which one is the previous one? Hokira. Oh, that's Hokira. No, we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete from crank. We can go direct to there. Yeah, so we'll set it up a little later during the flight. We'll leave it for the time being. Let's go ahead and go to Init Bravo. So Init Bravo, if we take a look here at the zero fuel weight, let's do what you guys suggested. So we're going to go to our flight plan. View sim brief, and we'll take a look here. The zero fuel weight is 348. So slash 348. 348. There we go. And the block fuel. Now it says this is not used. Okay. So the block fuel is 29 point, we'll say just 29.3, 29.3. There we go. And now we have all the fuel prediction. Okay, perfect. The last thing, before we do that, let's go ahead and start the, we're going to go back to ARC. Okay, and we're going to go to, let's see, let's start the APU. Perfect. All right, and finally, we're going to go to the performance. Now, for the performance, we are going to need SimBrief. So we're going to go to takeoff performance, and I've already calculated everything. So we have flaps 1, 54, 130, 130, 137. All right, so 130, 130, and 137. And flex is 54. And flaps 1. And for the trim, we're going to put 3.5 up. There we go. All right. So everything here is complete. And we'll just wait now for the APU. They've simulated this, simulated that. And if we go to the engine page, simulated bleed, and the cabin pressure, bleed air, electrical, hydraulics, all the pages are actually simulated. Fuel, flight controls, the wheel, door page. Amazing. Air conditioning packed low flow. Check that out. And the APU, obviously. Okay. Let's go here. And STS, yeah, the packs are still not working there, so we're going to remove that and clear. Okay, so let's grab the altimeter real quick. We're going to go to SimBrief here. We're going to click on the weather 29904. All right, we'll set it on both sides. There we go. And we're going to set our altitude to 30,000 feet. There we go. 30,000 is set. Perfect. And everything, we are ready for engine start, ladies and gents. Let's take a look at the outside here once more. And just look at how beautiful X-Plane is. By the way, there's something, I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you go here, like that, the soundscape is, let me find a street. Hang on. All right, there we go. Hear the cars? You actually can hear the cars moving on the highway. Now look at the tree, how it's moving with the wind. That is just amazing. Really, really cool. All right, so let's get back into the aircraft here. And all right, so we have the bleeds. Perfect. APU bleed is on. And we can turn off the external power. And we're going to turn on the beacon lights are on. And we are ready for engine start. Perfect. Let's go to we're going to detach the jetway. All right, and we can see here the jetway detaching from the aircraft. And we are ready for engine start. Perfect. Let's go to better pushback and start the push.
Cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
All right, we're just going to position the aircraft here. And
ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
So now the first thing I want to show you here is now we have, if I put terrain, and you actually have the terrain radar, and this is pretty cool. And if you go like increase the range, it will increase. It has trouble with 320, but 160, 80, 40. Again, you can see a beautiful terrain radar. The only thing I've noticed is that after about 2,000 feet, it just disappears and it comes back once we are at 2,000 feet or so. So it looks like, you know, this is a very, very early beta, guys. So yeah, things are definitely being worked on. But yeah, so let's wait for the
okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
All right, we're ready to connect here. Really nice aircraft, by the way. Even the, look at the beautiful. Oh, Dougal McTavish coming in with
It's so good to see you so enthused once again by the marvelous improvements, Sam. It's inspiring to listen.
Oh, Dougal, thank you so very much. Really, really appreciate your support, my friend. Coming in with 20 pounds. Thank you so much, Dougal. Really appreciate it, my friend. And yes, I am oozing with excitement today. All right, so look at the, the texturing of this aircraft. Being a default aircraft is actually not bad at all. And that's Austin Meyer for you. And look at the cabin. It actually is a pretty good aircraft. I mean, look at that.
So
It's got a
connected
really nice
and
cabin,
bypass
doesn't it?
pin inserted. Release
Wow.
parking
I mean,
brake.
texturing is really nice all around this aircraft. All right. So there we go. We can now release the parking brake. Parking brake is released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engine.
All right, and we have clearance to start our engines. Engine mode selector to engine start, and we're going to start with engine 2. And notice the detail here. Let me zoom in. You actually have to flip this up, move it, and then it goes down exactly like it is in the real Airbus. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. All right, here we go. We're pushing back now. And our departure runway is ahead. That is very cool, isn't it, Roy? Yeah. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here, and thanks for the support. Just look at you can see the haze far in the distance there, and look at just the sun glow there on the clouds, the shading, the shadows of the clouds on the ground. Just everything is so perfect. I mean, this version really creates an environment that is very believable, something that you would actually see in real life. And you say, yep, when you look out the window, you say, yep, that's how it looks in real life. I mean, mind you, the scenery, but it actually isn't bad at all, in my view. It actually is looking really, really, really good. All right. So here we are, the 30,000, everything is set here, and looks like we have a good start on the first engine. And engine 1, pull it up and move it to the on position. Perfect. We are going to make sure our weather radar is on. No, that's off. All right, so there we go, and that one as well. We're going to put it on system 2, and we put this on automatic. All right, let's take a look here. I think maybe we need a little bit of engine sounds. So there we go. If it's too loud for you guys, just let me know. And we can always bring it down. Yeah, look at that. Just gorgeous. Really, really
Operation
impressed.
Complete. Set parking brake.
All right, let's set the parking brake right there. Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right. So we're going to play with the weather a little bit once we're airborne, and we'll see how that works. Because I think we don't really have any... we don't have any rain. I want some rain. Earlier, I put in the rain, but I couldn't see it in the sim. But we're going to play. We're going to have a ball today, guys, with the weather. We're going to change the time and do all that fun stuff. And take a look at X-Plane 12.3. Here's, again, another look here. Look at the... there. Look at that. Here. This is what I'm talking about. You see how you can see the haze now? And, the fog, it just looks so good.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed.
Yeah.
And signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time, and have a great flight.
Well, thank you very much for your service. We are good to go here. So we are going to set 3.5 up, which is right about here. And we're going to set flaps 1 for departure. Let's take a look. Yeah. And the sounds, too. God, I tell you guys, I love Laminar research. All right, there we go. Okay, let's arm our speed brake. Perfect. And auto brake to max. And everything here looks good. Look at the glow. Again, the lighting is just phenomenal. They've changed the lighting as well in this version, so it has been improved. And it is looking pretty good. All right, we are good to go. Are the taxi lights on, APU bleed off, APU master off, and the engine mode selector back to normal. And we are ready to go. All right. Parking brake is released. And off we go. Listen to those engine sounds. Did we... Yeah, all right, there we go. Very nice engine sounds. Again, for a default aircraft, very impressive work by Laminar. By the way, performance-wise, it is actually pretty good, so I haven't really noticed any difference in the... so there is no degradation of performance, so I did notice there are a little bit of pauses every now and then. So the sim freezes just like for a couple of seconds and then comes back. But in terms of FPS smoothness, I think it pretty much performs just like the previous version before installing the beta. And by the way, I was feeling a little brave, so I didn't create another copy of X-Plane. I just updated my current. And I figured, you know, if anything goes wrong, I can always go back to the release version. All right, takeoff config, no blues. We are good to go. And landing lights on. Runway turnoff lights on. Nose light to taxi. And we are cleared for departure. There is our runway. Wow. Look at that, guys. There isn't anything not to like about this update. Right, let's line up. We're good to go. Engines are stable. Manflex 54, SRS, and runway. Very nice engine sounds. And we are going to rotate at 130. I can definitely feel the wind. So I have a little bit of right rudder applied to keep the aircraft center line. V1 and rotate. Bit hard on the pitch. And we are airborne. Positive rate, gear is going up. Oh yeah. You gotta love X-Plane 12.3. Let's begin our turn. And let's do that. Wow, look at those clouds, guys. Thrust climb is set. And autopilot 1 engaged. And there's the terrain radar for you. Wow. I mean, look at this wing view here, guys. With the clouds, the sky colors, the little haze or fog that you can see there, it just looks so good. Look at this shot here from the window. Wow, this looks absolutely amazing. All right, here we are. We are, not sure what happened there. Let's go to manage speed. And we can retract the flaps. Let's take a look. That was an abrupt flap retraction. I think it retracts on its own, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, we can disengage the speed brake. There we go. And we can put this now on 40. Let's put the constraints. Look at this scene here as we make the turn. It looks really, really good, I have to say. Wow. Hopefully developers will start coming back. This update is a game changer. Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Look at this. I mean, guys, you know, for a default Airbus A330, this actually looks really good. Yeah. You have got to love X-Plane. Look at the wing condensation there. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. A very believable environment in X-Plane 12.3. Very, very nice indeed. All right. Things are good here. We are at 8,000 and very nice shadows as well. I do like them. I do not like the reflections of this Airbus on the window because it's kind of low res. But everything else is, and of course I forgot the clock like I normally do. Right, 900,000 feet, landing lights off, runway turn off, lights off, taxi lights off. We're gonna go ahead and put the, we'll put both the seatbelt and no smoking signs on auto. Everything here is good. There are no lights, so we are good. And continue. In terms of performance, if we take a look here at the FPS, we are getting about 56, 57 FPS, which is, you know, pretty, you know, pretty normal for this aircraft. This aircraft, by the way, does require a little bit of resources, so it's not as, you know, optimized as, for example, the Tolus, which can give you much better FPS, but not bad. You know, not bad for being, again, you know, a default aircraft. It's not bad. Right, so you can see here the beautiful clouds as we climb. We don't see anything in the, let's see here, gain. We're going to put with the WX and turbulence. I'm not sure if it makes any difference, but hopefully that will. If it doesn't, we're just going to change the weather before we arrive. But of course, could be a lot of things. Yeah. Is this live weather in maximum settings? This is definitely live weather. And what I found out in this version, it looks like they are using historical weather. So if you fly in real time, and it will load the weather at that specific time. If you change the time, I think, I'm not sure, but I think it loads the weather for that specific period. So that's something that needs to be verified, but I think so. Again, here's a nice wing view here, and look at those beautiful clouds, ladies and gents. Wow, this beats anything I've seen in terms of clouds in a flight sim. Nothing is more realistic than this right here. Looks really, really good. Best sim ever from Pro Gamer. Yes, sir. Remember, it's a beta. It's the first release, so there will be some bugs for sure. Yeah, there are bugs for sure. Excited to hopefully see a working WX radar on the Hot Start Challenger 650. At that point, X-Plane 12 will be, in my opinion, nearly perfect. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Right, 16,000. Things are looking great. And so far, so good. Let me go to... All right, so here's... You see now how the terrain radar has completely disappeared? So I'm not really sure if this is a bug or some feature, or I really am not sure, but I've noticed above 10,000 feet, everything disappears from the terrain radar. So let me just reduce the exterior sounds a little bit, and maybe the interior for that matter, so you guys can hear me better. Right? I think still loud. Yeah, I think that's much better. And here we can take a look at how beautiful this scene is with the there. Look at that. The sun glow is perfect in X-Plane. And I love the fact that you don't see that lens flare, which is so annoying. So I'm glad they don't have it because it's highly unrealistic. It basically, the lens flare simulates looking through the scene through a lens, a camera lens. So I'm very glad that, you know, you don't have this in X-Plane. Wow, look at that. All right. Transition altitude was at 18,000. I'm all, I'm just, you know, look, I got carried away with those views and just really adoring those clouds as we make it to New York this evening. Very, very nice change to see an update of this magnitude. We are going to, after we land over at Newark, I'll show you guys also, we'll bring up one of the smaller aircraft to show you the synthetic vision, which is implemented in the X-Plane Garmin 1000. And it actually works really, really well. Flying, by the way, general aviation, I tried the Cessna, the default Cessna 172. And let me tell you guys, I was just chuckling with joy when I took it for a short flight from Lima 52, one of my favorite airports, to test smaller general aviation aircraft. And it's just really amazing. Now, one thing, guys, a major thing that has been improved in this version of X-Plane is the aliasing. You'll notice that you don't have the shimmers on the switches. You don't have them here on the controls. You can see it just a little bit right there, but a huge improvement from the previous version. So you can see it more clearly when you're flying. When we were at Pearson International, the trees, when you're actually moving the camera, you don't see the shimmers. They've been significantly reduced, and I really want to give them, you know, a kudos on really the excellent work that they've done, because this was one of the probably most requested features or fixes that, you know, X-Plane committee was asking for is, Laminar, please fix the aliasing issue. The shimmer and the aliasing is just really, really bad. And I'm very happy to report that this has been significantly reduced. Still there, it's not 100%, but it has been addressed, I think, to a large degree, which really makes the sim, you know, just a notch better than what it used to be in previous versions. Hello, Creamers. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us this evening. The Flying Scotsman. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. I am absolutely thrilled about 12.3. Yeah. For those that are interested, I was able to replicate the drone control camera like in 2024. Now in X-Plane, no camera, but a little tool called Universal Control Remapper UCR. Ooh, nice to know. The textures still need quite an update, but I totally agree. Yeah, the textures do need an upgrade for sure, but things are definitely in the right direction, and Laminar is definitely on the right track, creating the next level flight simming experience for us flight simmers. Quick update also on the Q8 pilot website. Actually, you know, I just kind of, you know, I kind of just want to show you guys. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Maybe it's not of much of interest to you guys, but I just want to show you the progress, what I've been kind of doing with the website. And this time when I do launch the website, I want to make sure that it is not just something to promote the channel. It's the last thing on my mind right now, but I really want the website to be useful for you guys. So one of the things that that I needed for this specific flight is an Airbus A330 calculator, and I couldn't find a good one, so I had to improvise and use SimBrief. But what I've done in my new website here, see if I can go, let me load up the site, is really I wanted to create a lot of tools for you guys in order to make your simming experience. There was a weather update just now. You've seen it just now. I think things have changed, so it must have been a weather update. It was abrupt, but almost non-noticeable, but I definitely felt it when the... All right, so we're approaching the top of climb right now for takeoff and landing. That's right, Carl. Yes, but I've added something new today. So here is the new website. Again, you guys get an exclusive preview as followers of the channel. Very quickly, I want to show you actually a couple of things. First, if you go to the About section, now a lot of you guys have been asking me, Q8, what are your settings? So now I very specifically tell you my primary sim is X-Plane, secondary sim is 2024, and I have my flight simulation set up here in a nice way. Core components, what is my storage and display, and additional components there for easy reference. Then if you go to the tools, now you'll see three things here. You'll see the top of descent calculator, which you guys I hope are using, and then you're going to see an Airbus performance calculator, which is not there. There we go, for simulation use only. And this was actually a very difficult calculator to do, but it's there. I'm still testing it, but it's working for the most part. I need to format a little bit. You see the flex temperature, so I still am working on it. And of course, we have the rate of descent. It is integrated into the top of descent, but I've also made this available for you. In the videos section, it will just pull my latest up to 12, I think, streams. So this is just an RSS feed that I'm reading to display. So still under construction, but hopefully, it will come live to you guys very soon. And I hope really to bring in as many tools as possible to make your lives easier. So, Tola said they will update for their planes. Yes, X-Plane default camera is also very good. Replays are perfect, absolutely. Has the weather radar work now in all the planes like Tola's? I have no clue. That is cool. Also planning to create engine out procedures page like the one on Black Box 711. Thanks for that, Roy. I will try to remember that and work on it. It's not always easy to test these out because I'm not a real world Airbus pilot, and this information is sometimes some of the information that I'm referencing to do the calculations is very complex, and to be very honest with you guys, I don't understand a lot of it. But I'm doing my best to, I'm using, ChatGPT to try to understand what these calculations mean so that I can give proper prompts and create those calculators for you. So it does take a little bit of learning. So hopefully it's a good learning curve for me as well. So I'm learning something new every day. So that's cool. X-Plane is definitely looking great. Thank you very much. Your videos are really useful. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Mr. Jafar, how are you doing, my friend? Mr. Flyby, it looks like they finally fixed the replay hanging issue. Yes. Thank you, Roy. Hello, Mr. Shakir Al-Hashlan, my very dear friend and captain from Saudi Arabia. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, I really enjoyed the interview with you, Captain Shakir. I really am very thankful, and I thank you very much for your support over the years. Really appreciate it. Right, so we are at 30,000 feet. Ooh, look at that scene there. Oof, very nice contrail. All right, so we are, again, you can see this is a very dramatic scene. You can see the cloud colors there as the sun sets, and this is just really beautiful. Look at that. Wow, look at this scene, ladies and gents. Absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, Stan coming in with 10 gifted memberships. Stan, thank you so much. Guys, if you've received a gifted membership from Stan, please be sure to say thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much, Stan. That's very, very kind of you, sir. Thank you so much. Not sure why we're not getting the dings today here on the channel. But really, thank you so much, Stan. I really, really appreciate that. Look at the scene, guys. Look at that. Wow. Look at those clouds. Just gorgeous. Wow. Well, we've got something to be very excited about, ladies and gents. And I think by the time this version of X-Plane reaches the public release, I think we're going to have a very high fidelity flight sim by Laminar Research that I think is going to draw me even more towards X-Plane. So yeah, I mean, I have been doing some Microsoft Flight Sim videos, and I think it's necessary for me as a content creator to cover both sims, but X-Plane is just, it's just by leap years ahead in terms of the representation of meteorological data, the injection of this data in the sim, the actual simulation of the environmental factors on the aircraft itself, whether it's wind, whether it's rain. You can see the shadows there. Very, very nice indeed. Look at the shadows there. I think you can see it clearly now. Again, very, very nicely done by Laminar. Right, so if you guys want me to change the weather for the approach, we will definitely do that. And we'll make it more dramatic, maybe some really bad weather to make things a little more interesting. Remove before flight. MSFS24 will not be better because it's optimized for Xbox. It's a game, nothing more. Well, I wouldn't be so harsh. I think Microsoft Flight Sim has its area. I think it shines definitely when it comes to VFR flights. It has some very, very high fidelity aircraft, so developers are really competing to create the highest possible fidelity with their aircraft. We're not too far from top descent, so yeah, I mean, it is probably the strategy from Asobo and Microsoft is really Xbox, and Xbox means gamers. So, and that's where the money is, because that's, you know, they're in for money. Microsoft is a huge business. They're a software giant, and that's what they do. They sell software and they develop games for, you know, to make money. And by the way, so does Laminar. I mean, Laminar created X-Plane. Maybe it started as a project of Austin Meyer. But today, X-Plane is pretty much in the money-making business. I mean, it's a business after all. It's a software company. But I think, for me, I think X-Plane, as a flight sim, as a piece of software. Now, I'm not talking about the underlying code, because I know it's got a lot of issues, and some of it is dated, by the way. But what I see, what I experience as a flight simmer in X-Plane, to me, is much better in terms of the value that I invested in this sim. That's just my opinion. Of course, you don't have to agree with me. But if I look, for example, at the user interface, at the supported hardware, the ease of configuring your hardware, the different profiles, the response curves, all of that combined, it makes for a very unique and very pleasant user experience. So let alone the actual flight dynamics and the actual flight simulation, the software itself is built with the user in mind. And it's really very remarkable to see where X-Plane was in X-Plane 10. And I started with X-Plane 10.3, 10.3.2. No, sorry, 10.32. I think that was the convention then. And so I was looking over some of my older videos of X-Plane 10 and my complete settings guide, my lord, things have really, really changed. And Laminar has really upped their game by, by a huge, huge margin. So definitely an excellent flight sim that really delivers. And while the team over at Laminar is a small team, I think they are very talented and are really bringing the best of the best in terms of the experience. Sorry, right. That's the okay. So I think what we can do, folks, here after top of descent is we're going to change. This is crankshaft Hokira from Hokira. Maybe we don't want to go all the way to yeah. So this is a change. All right. Well, we'll leave it for now, but we're definitely going to change the weather. Yeah, we want to see some really, really bad weather. Q8, if you have the time, I just posted some very stunning X-Plane skies. So impressed, especially the sun rays. It is very impressive. Mr. Fairy Cake, I thought Laminar would have thrown in the towel when MSFS came out, but I'm so glad that they didn't, and now they are definitely the best sim in the game. Yeah. Let's take a quick look at the outside here. Again, an absolutely remarkable scene with those beautiful clouds. Again, Stan and Dougal, thank you very much for this support, guys. Really appreciate it. And I think we have somebody also from Canada who super chatted today, so thank you for you as well. Really appreciate your support. Look at those clouds. Look at those contrails. And this Airbus A330 looks really good, guys. Look at this scene. You look at the clouds in the distance there. Looks really, really good. And you have the cirrus clouds there as well. And just really very nice. And from this altitude, I really don't care, what this looks here. Here, look at this. Just beautiful. Definitely, Traffic Global was causing issues. So I can see that things are much better now. Now, one thing I did notice with the A330 is that pitching up and down and moving the aircraft to fly by wire is maybe a little bit exaggerated. It's very hard to actually lift off. So I think they need to adjust the flight model a little bit. TRPP86 Salam Q8 pilot, good to see you. 12.3 looking really good. Yes. Wow, I really love this scene. Look at that. I mean, this looks very believable. It looks like a video of a real aircraft flying. Very cool. All right, so where are we now in terms of top of descent? So we're here at Cody, and then Hotel November Kilo, and then top of descent. So if I go to Perf, there we go. So top of descent in 78 nautical miles. So we are going to go to Perf. We're going to go to the next phase. And let's see, here's the approach. Looks like it has put in everything. Ooh. Why is QNH in... Should be in... all right, well, it's got the wind, it's got all the information, it's got all the details here, so we don't really need to do anything. Final is ILS 22 left, so everything is already done for us. Perfect. We'll head back to flight plan, and everything here is ready to begin our descent. Okay. So... we are going, just right before we arrive into our destination, we are going to change the weather and make it really, really bad to have a little bit of fun as we arrive. We've been flying for about 23 minutes now, And now we can see the top of descent there. The platform altitude at Newark is, I believe, 1,500 feet. Yeah, if we look here at the weather, so scattered clouds, yeah, we're going to change that for the approach. Altimeter is 29090. Okay, so we want the platform altitude. I believe it's 1,500 feet for 22 left. We're going to double check that here real quick. And indeed, so at Azico, we are at 3,000, and we need to be at 1,500 at Buzzed in order to intercept the ILS, 22 left. So there we go. And things are looking good. Perfect. We still haven't seen the weather radar, so we've seen the terrain radar. It disappeared after 2,000 feet. And this is more than likely a bug, but the weather radar we'll see once we change the weather. And we're definitely going to do that because I think it's going to be a lot of fun trying to land this aircraft in dreadful weather. And you guys like it, so you guys like to do that. All right. The one thing I want to see here is after Flossie, where do we go? After Flossie, we can fly direct to this waypoint here. After Flossie. Let's just remember that. Okay. That's Flossie right there. And then we're going to fly. Let's see here. Let me go to plan. And let's see here. Let's bring this up. And let's zoom in. There we go. That's Flossie. Yeah. So if you notice here, maybe from Flossie we can go direct. And that would probably make our flight a little... Because if we continue, Hockey is right here, and then it will turn and bring us back there. So we can just simply, we can go just direct to pattern from here, and it make it close. Hopefully we'll be at the right altitude to do that. If not, we'll continue. Okay, so let's switch back to ARC here. Everything's looking good. And, ooh. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if you guys are still with me. But something is off. Because I lost connectivity here on my iPad. Huh. Did I lose you guys? I hope not. Maybe it's just my iPad. I really am not sure what's going on. I hope I haven't lost you guys. I did lose connectivity on my, let me see here. I really am not sure what's going on here, but let me see if I can... It looks like it is my iPad. Yeah. Now, I can see your post now on my mobile phone. I am not sure what happened to my iPad, where I normally, look at the chat. For some reason, it just kind of said you know, you lost connectivity. So let me see if I can bring this again. We are approaching top of descent, but the good thing is that you guys are still be able to see something. Yeah, I'm not sure really what's going on my iPad. All right. Well, I will follow the chat with you guys here on. Just give me a second, guys, here. All right, so I'm going to follow you guys up here on my mobile. It's going to be very difficult. Hasn't skipped a beat here on my window. I don't think it's anything to do with the actual stream. I think the stream is fine. My internet is fine. I think something went wrong with my iPad, and I'm really not sure what it is. But let's see here. Maybe I need to. Yeah, now the connectivity is restored. Let's see here. No, it says translation available, something, I don't know. Let me see here if I can. All right. All right, let's see if that works. Well, it looks like I've solved the problem. And maybe I can... Yeah, it worked. Finally. My iPad is back now. It might have been just some problem with my iPad. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So we are at top of descent. We are going to change our altitude here to 1,500 feet. Bring that here, bring that to 1,500. And we're going to begin we want a nav descent. There we go. Let's begin the descent. And just, it takes a little bit of time for it to register. And then it begins the descent. All right, come on. There we go. All right, so now we've started the initial descent towards Newark. And what we'll do is at around 15,000 feet, we will change the weather so that it's really, really bad. And we'll see how things fare up. Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is definitely not pushing things to the limit. So we want to change things at Newark, and we want to make sure that we'll just leave it. Everything is set up correctly, and we are good. Perfect. Hello there, Mohan. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. All right, let's switch this to 40. And after Flossie, I think we'll fly direct to Pattern, which is here. So there is if you go from Flossie, we can fly direct to Pattern here. And I think that's probably a good thing to do, considering how complicated this approach is. So, and hopefully we'll be able to do it without incident. All right. We're descending at about 2,100 feet per minute. Things are looking good. And you can see, again, the sunset looks really, really nice. The sky colors look phenomenal in this version of X-Plane. The lighting is also very nice. All right, I'm going to set up our lights here a little bit. So I'll bring in some panel lights and our... There we go. I think that's a bit too much. There we go. Much better. And we have the lights there as well. You can see the glow looking really, really good. Let's increase that a little bit. There we go. And right there. And we have the lights here, by the way. I think not this one here, but let's see. Those lights actually work. Eeh, look at that. Pretty cool, huh? And that. And look at the shadows in X-Plane. They actually look pretty good. All right. So we are at Flossie here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to come to the FMC or the McDo, and I am going to go to Direct, and then I'm going to select Pattern here, Direct to, and there we go. Perfect. All right, that's 39 nautical miles, and I am going to extend the speed brakes. That's going to help us. Yeah, the rate of descent is obviously not very realistic, but we want to do that because I want to fly direct to Pattern there. And once we arrive, by the way, guys, we are going to be 6,000 feet per minute. Yeah, there is a restriction. That's definitely very, very steep. All right, now it's getting better. Yeah, hopefully things will subside. And right, what's the altimeter right now? 29088. Okay. So there we go, 29088, and same thing here, 29088. There we go. Excellent. All right, let's see if we can make it, and we'll wait for about maybe just below 10,000 feet, and then we'll make things look really, really bad in terms of the weather. We should be all right. Things are looking good. Hi Q8, can you please tell me what will this update change and when it comes out? Well, for one, it is already out in beta, so I don't know when the official release is going to be, but the beta version is already out. As far as the changes, a host of changes. The weather radar, synthetic vision, the fix of the shimmering of that we used to see in X-Plane. All of that is part of what's been fixed in this version. Plus, of course, a major overhaul of the A330 by Laminar. So why does it say extend? It's asking me to extend the speed brakes. All right, let's extend the speed brakes. That's fine. All right. So yeah, a host of changes. The weather has been changed completely as well. The lighting system has been improved. I think, by the way, the shimmering and the aliasing issue is one of the major things in this version of X-Plane. Because the shimmer is something, or the aliasing, the really heavy aliasing, is something that really breaks the immersion, especially when you're coming on an approach. I think the issue is exacerbated during daylight, when you're arriving into daylight. So it looks really, really bad. So Yeah, we're going to keep the speed brakes extended and continue to descent. We are approaching now 10,000 feet. And now I think it's time for us to come here and go to customize. And we're going to change this back. Can I change it? Yes, I can. And let's see. Large thunderstorm. It wants to go to real weather. Why does it do that? All right, let's see. All right, well, we're going to put it like that. And then we're going to say apply changes. There you go. And now you can see that we have the weather radar here showing the bad weather. How cool is that? Yeah. I mean, the actual artwork is not that great. The AA slider I cannot use anymore, and it looks okay without... that's strange. All right, so 10,000 feet, landing lights on, taxi lights. We're going to turn those on. Runway turn-off lights. Non-smoking signs are on. And we are looking good. Look at those towering clouds there. Let me, I don't want to play with it too much because I'm afraid I'm going to break it. But I just want to do one thing. I want to add a, let's see here. Let's see, deteriorating weather. And apply the changes. All right, let's see what happens now. No, what happened? No, come back. All right, let me just do IFR precision, convective, and large thunderstorm. And we're going to bring this down like that. All right, so this, and let's see here, cloud, tops, precipitation severe, standing. All right, so let's go there, apply. All right, there we go. Now we can see the weather radar again, and hopefully we'll be able to make it in one piece at Newark. Adjust your tilt. I don't think you can do that. Yeah, it doesn't move. This one moves. All right, we're looking good here. And you know what? We're gonna just change it just a notch here for a more dramatic scene as we approach Newark. How about right there? Ooh, look at that. Looks pretty cool, huh? There, much better. All right. A bit too bright, I think. Let me bring this down a notch here. Yeah, maybe that's a little better. That's okay. Those I think we can bring down a little bit. Yeah, look at that, guys. Wow, looks so nice. Not sure though why we don't see the rain. This is really looking very, very good. Hello Q8 and everyone. Wow, I really should try and explain one day. Those clouds look great. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Look at that. Wow. Very beautiful. That's the airport ahead of us there, and we're almost there now. Oof, look at that. Did you guys see that? The thunderstorm there? Wow. I'm wondering why we're not seeing the rain. I tried this earlier today, And let me see here if we can, let's see here, altitude, duration, speed. No, we want that. Yeah, it's not allowing me to add another one. All right, that's okay. But look at this here. Let's take a look at the outside. Those towering clouds. Major thunderstorms as we approach Newark. And look at the wind condensation. Look at those lights, guys. Wow. Look at the road traffic there. Just wow. All right, 3,000. We're almost at the required altitude. All right. Now, after we arrive here, it's not much further before you see that's the runway right there. So what I'm going to do now, folks, is I'm going to come here. I'm going to go to perf, and I'm going to activate the approach phase. I'm not going to wait for it. So there we go. And now we're going to begin reducing our speed. And it's definitely going to be a... right, we're almost there now. Okay, our final approach speed is what? Perf. Okay, I believe it's 140. All right, 10. Right, let's go to landing system on and approach. There we go. Right, speed check, flaps 1. That's not very happy with that. We still haven't extended fully. All right, I'm going to go ahead and lower the landing gear. You can see that. Oof, look at this approach, guys. And that should help us reduce the speed a little bit. There we go. You can see a little bit of stuttering there and some pauses. Hopefully it will go away and give us a nice smooth landing. All right, speed check, and we're going to go to flaps 2. Yeah, there's a little bit of a immersion breaker there. Ooh. All right, there we go. All right, let's see here. It's not allowing us to go below the speed, and we are very fast. All right, let's see here if that works. All right, we need to. Yeah, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Maybe that's because of the wind.
Too low terrain.
All right, let me disconnect the autopilot. My aircraft.
500. 400.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Light.
300.
Light slow. Sync.
200.
Light slow. Hold up.
That's the weather, guys.
Hold up. Hold up. Light slow. Flight slow.
40,
Flight
30, 10, 5.
All right, and reverse. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to change the weather like that. Yeah, it looks like the flaps are down, guys. All right, we're gonna take a look here at the take a look at the replay. By the way, I did a previous flight, and it was a complete butter. But changing the weather to this weather, I think, just wasn't probably a very good idea, guys. But nonetheless, let's take a look here. All right, there. Wow, look at those lights. That's definitely the wind there. And you've noticed the wing flex. It's pretty cool, huh? All right, and then there we go. Can we see the aircraft? That's a really nice view there. Yeah, that was a pretty tough landing, but you need to do, by the way, you need to, in circumstances like that, you need to bring the aircraft firmly on the runway. All right, here we go. Let's see. That was pretty hard, wasn't it? Yeah, the runway lighting is very, very nice. Look at the reversers there. Very nice indeed. Let's do it one more time with the wing view, and then I want to show you guys something else. All right, there we go. Look at that, guys. Wow. Look at that wing flex. Pretty cool. Now, there's one thing I want to show you is... no, not yet. Let's see, it stopped there. All right, let's see here. Reversers are off. All right, I think... what I wanted to show you... did you see that? Did you see how the engine just moved? I think X-Plane just given up on us now. There. You see that? Guys, did you see how the engine just vibrated there? The movement of the engine there, just like it is in real life. It's just amazing. Just really amazing. All right. So we've made it here. Let me go back to... we had to see the weather radar. Let me go back to... we're going to go to here to customize. Let's go to live weather. It's going to take a little bit of time here to download it. But that's okay, downloading real weather. The movement of the engine on the wing is just so realistic, so nice, so good. All right, so we're back into now, and we can change the time a little bit, like that. There we go. All right. You can see the flaps retracting. Very cool. It actually is a really nice looking aircraft, this A330. Yeah. Matey, welcome to Captain. Thank you very much for the support, my friend. Really appreciate it. Welcome, guys. It was pretty cool flight, I have to say. And I'm very, very impressed with whatever Laminar is doing. And this really redefines everything again. I tell you guys, I am very, very excited about this update. And I really look forward to the final version of X-Plane. All right, so we're not going to go all the way to the gate. Let me stop here. And now you guys can see that we have the weather radar again. The terrain radar. All right, so let's stop here. All right, let's bring the aircraft to a stop. And what I want to do is I want to show you guys, is this not doing, all right, so I want to show you now, we are going to go down here to, let's see, we can use the Cirrus Vision, but no, that's not that one. Where's the default? Where is the default? Is this the one? Aircraft Cirrus, yeah. That's the default Cirrus 22 by Laminar. So we are going to go to. Let's see, guys. Do you guys have an airport of choice? Maybe we go to. Actually, we'll just do it here. KWR. Newark Liberty, and we're just going to position the aircraft here, and let's say start. Okay, so the reason I want to do this is I want to show you guys the new synthetic vision that has been implemented, and this, I think, opens a lot of possibilities for software developers to bring in that extra fidelity into the add-ons, into their aircraft. I know for a fact that TorqueSim had to remove synthetic vision from their aircraft. Now, this is, ladies and gents, the default SR22, and it actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah. Let me show you here. So this is the default SR22 by Laminar Research. Very nice looking aircraft and flies really well as well. So let's go back into the cockpit here, and we're going to turn on battery 1, battery 2, and let's see here. We're going to put the mixture on full rich, throttle fully cracked, left engine. We're going to prime. And there we go. And then boost. Right. There we go. Excellent. And by the way, this is a really enjoyable aircraft. Being a default aircraft is actually pretty good. Now, you see the synthetic vision, guys? And by the way, you can access it here. So if you go to, let me just click on alerts first. And let's go to PFD, synthetic vision. Now you have all of these, so you can go back to, you can remove the pathway. And this is terrain. This is synthetic terrain. And this is, this is the synthetic vision on, and this is off. This is what you used to see before. Now you can also turn this. You see here the horizon heading. You can see it here, which is pretty cool. You can see the pathway. I don't think you can see it here, but then there's also the app signs, airport signs. So now you'll know this is KLDJ. So there's an airport right over there, which is pretty cool. And you can set all of these on or off, depending on what you like, your preference. But full implementation of synthetic vision now. So let me just come here real quick. Let's go to engine. Ooh, let's lean the mixture here. Bring the cylinder head temperature up a little bit. Let's see here. All right, so cylinder head temperature is coming up. All right, there is no weather here. I wasn't able to see the weather. You can see it, I think, if you go back in the inset. Yeah, you have only terrain. You can bring the terrain here. You don't have the weather, unfortunately, here. So, yeah, not with this specific aircraft, I don't think. So, actually, let's go ahead and give it a short spin here. So let me release the parking brake. Ooh, what happened here? I think the mixture was too... All right, let me start here again. There we go. All right. All right, let's go ahead and give this aircraft a spin. It's very difficult to control on the ground. All right, there we go. We think we cannot hear the sounds. All right, there we go. And let's rotate. The handling of the aircraft. You know what I want to show you also? I'm going to disable XP Realistic. Ah, it's already disabled. Perfect. I want to close X camera. And we're going to go to the physics-based camera now in X-Plane. So if I go to view, you have the G-loaded camera for the internal views. And this is actually pretty cool. Let me see here if I go there. Okay. So now we have the physics-based camera in X-Plane. And you can see how out here, let's take a look here. You see how the shimmer has really reduced. I mean, you can still see it. It's not perfect, but it has been significantly reduced in this version of X-Plane, which makes it, you know, in my view, it makes it really, really much better than what it used to be. Again, you can see it here, right here, but overall, if you look at the scene here, that looks really good. Major improvement from the previous version. Look at the fog scattering here, how it looks really good. What's going on here with the aircraft? All right, let's see here. Ah, mixture. I think I know why. All right, there we go. All right, let me lean the mixture a little bit. All right, there we go. Okay, let me switch it again to the external view. Here, I hope you guys can hear me. Let me just... yeah, that way I think you can hear me better. All right, so now you can notice the coloring overall of the skies, the sun, and you can see here, there's still a little bit of shimmer here, but overall, the shimmering has really been reduced in this version, and the sim is actually looking great. You can see those little bit of stutters there, sometimes some pauses, but overall, a very, very welcome change in X-Plane. Here again, another scene here where you can, again, notice a little bit of jitters there, but nothing, you know, nothing too serious. And the sim is just looking absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice. And very believable. The hand-flying aircrafts in the sim now is just a joy. And definitely something to look forward to for the actual public release of this version of X-Plane. Again, it's synthetic vision. Very nice. Works exactly as it should. And this here is a very, very, look at the, again, the physics-based camera, which works really, really well with a general aviation aircraft. So it's really, really good. Looks like Orbx, yeah. But this is actually default. This is all default X-Plane scenery. There's really nothing... again, look at this here as we make the turn. You can see the road traffic. Hello there, Rajiv Gupta. Welcome to Captain, my friend. Thank you very much for the support. Really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. This is default scenery. There is no Orbx here. There is no ortho, nothing. This is default X-Plane 12.3. Yep, better believe it, guys. This is X-Plane. All right, we're gonna just go here and do, again, I love this physics-based camera in the general aviation aircraft. I do not like it, by the way, in the airliners because it's just a little bit too exaggerated. But for the general aviation aircraft, it's just great. Really, really works really, really well. All right, we're gonna fly, you know, we're gonna fly low here because that's probably one of the things that, you know, a lot of people complain that breaks the immersion, which is the bad scenery. Now, this scenery isn't bad, guys. in all honesty and fairness, this is not bad at all. This actually looks pretty good. I mean, it's not photoreal. It's probably not what it looks like in real life, but highly representative of what you expect to see. Hello, my friend, John from Massachusetts. Welcome aboard. All right, so here is again another look here with this Cirrus as we go here. Look at the road traffic here. Oop, 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 oop. Let's not hit the pole there. Again, very, very nice, very believable, very high fidelity, and oop, 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 oop. Come on, go up, go up, go up. All right, there we go. Yeah, again, you can notice a little bit of jittering there, but nothing too serious really. And I think the sim really, really looks good. I am going to change the time of day now a little bit, so we'll make it daylight, so you can see this is when we used to get the most shimmers, and now you can see that this has been fixed. And look at those clouds. Look at how the sim looks. There you go. Performance is very good. Very slight shimmering there on some of the building, not all of them, but I think the vegetation looks really nice. And this is definitely, if I go back to the terminology of X-Plane 10, this is a very plausible world. What you're seeing here is not bad. I mean, it's, again, this is not real, but it looks really good. I think I'm very, very happy with how X-Plane looks, and I am very excited about 12.3, and I can't wait for the final release to come out. Again, here you can see this looks really, really good. Here, let's give it a cinematic flyby. And this brings us to the conclusion of this first look at X-Plane 12.3.0, ladies and gents. I hope that you have found this stream insightful and useful. And if you have any questions, as usual, do post them in the comments section. I want to thank you all for being here this evening with me. It's been a lot of fun really looking at the sim and conversing with you guys. I do apologize for not interacting as much with you guys today, but I just am over the moon and just really excited about, you know, what this new version of X-Plane brings to us flight simmers. Well, I will be back with you guys again on another X-Plane stream this coming Tuesday. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Have a lovely day, guys.